Sixth grade, welcome to the final system we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how we keep our body healthy in the immune system, and then we'll just have a little wrap up of trying to put everything back together today. So where summary statement says fighting off disease is the job of the immune system, but other systems contribute to the task. In fact, everything the body does requires the work of at least several systems working together. Let's learn about our immune system. You may not know it, but a war is going on in your body every day, every second of the day. Your body must constantly defend itself against pathogens that are trying to attack it. Pathogens are organisms such as bacteria, you're number one right now, viruses and fungi that cause disease. So guys, these things are in our body. Sometimes they cause disease, sometimes they don't. Bacteria can be harmful, but bacteria can also be helpful. If you remember way back to chapter 1, same with fungi. We learned that they can be helpful and they can be harmful. So pathogens in my body, if they get out of control, can cause a disease. Pathogens are found everywhere, but most never get a chance to make you sick. Number 2 in your body. Why? A healthy body is able to defend itself against pathogens. Your body has several ways to defend itself from pathogen invaders. Many pathogens enter the body through its openings, so your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, or cuts in your body, okay? So let's learn how do we keep this out. Your body's first line of defense to prevent pathogens is don't let them get in your body. It does this in several ways. Number 1, you have skin, which is an effective barrier that stops many pathogens. That's why we always try to protect our cuts and cover our cuts up so that they can't become infected. In other words, so pathogens can't get into that. So step 1, don't let it in. Skin is one way. B, tears that your eyes produce wash pathogens away. So you got wash pathogens away. And they also contain chemicals that can kill bacteria. So your eyes are protecting itself. The lining of all your other things, your nose, your mouth, and your throat, secrete mucus that traps, that's letter C, they trap pathogens. Your saliva and juices also produced in your stomach now contain pathogen-killing chemicals. So 1, don't let the pathogens get in the body. 2, if the pathogens get in it, let's try to kill it. And so if it gets into my stomach, like we learned about a couple days ago, has acids that'll kill that bacteria. It'll kill pathogen-killing chemicals to try to wipe that out from the time it gets into my mouth to the time it starts to work through my digestive system. We are working on killing all those things. Number 3, your body has reflexes that also helps fight pathogens. Sneezing and coughing rid your lungs and throat of pathogens. So it's coming into my nose, it's coming into my throat. I'm going to try to sneeze and cough those things out. Your stomach may expel food that contains pathogens. Now, guys, that's a very nice way of saying throwing up is a way to keep you healthy. This is how sometimes you think of food poisoning. It'll cause people to get really sick and throw up. The first line of defense lots of times, guys, when we start to get sick because the food is bad, is to throw it back up. Now, obviously, you've been sick with the flu, which causes you to puke sometimes, too. Another way of just getting junk out of your body that your body doesn't want, okay? All right, they give you a list here of how pathogens are spread. It can spread with direct contact. So in other words, if I am touching somebody or kissing somebody who has that stuff, yep, get it that way. I can breathe in the tiny droplets of moisture from an infected person who sneezes or coughs. This is the big thing with COVID-19. We think it's in those droplets, and so it starts to get all those things, and we try to wear our mask. Carries the pathogen. This is malaria that's transferred by mosquitoes. There's a ton of diseases that can be transferred. Lyme disease with ticks. Or if I eat contaminated food, you'll hear that all the time. Such and such food is being recalled because of an E. coli bacteria outbreak and things like that. Okay, so all kinds of different ways that pathogens are spread. We want to try to cut that down. Okay, we're to defense system number 4. Even with these defenses, pathogens enter your body. When that happens, your immune system springs into action to help fight these invaders. Number 4 in your notes. First, it increases blood flow, A in your notes. So get blood going to the area. It does this for new reasons. This is why an infected area will become red and swollen. It's just more blood. Why do we need more blood? Because this signals one type of blood cells to attack and kill pathogens. So as blood gets there, the white blood cells in your body will attack and kill the pathogens. This type of white blood cell attacks and kills any kind of invader. So anything that gets into your blood, boom, it's going to be killed by this. Guys, if you're down here, it would look like this. White blood cells attack body cells that contain the pathogen. They kill the infected cells and the pathogen. So the pathogen is trying to affect good cells in your body. And so a white blood cell comes in here and says, I'm just going to kill it. And then it's killing one of your body cells. It's also killing the pathogen with it, but one of your body cells is going down. So then that gets to the next one. Other types of white blood cells are more specialized. They can tell the difference between various pathogens. These white blood cells produce what we call antibodies. Numbered letter C in your notes. Antibodies are chemicals that kill just specific pathogens. This response also allows the body to recognize and fight the same pathogen if it enters the body again. Study the diagram to see how white blood cells target and fight specific pathogens. So, guys, this is up here. A pathogen comes. Some white blood cells alert another kind of white blood cell to produce antibodies. The antibodies cause the pathogens to clump together. These clumps of pathogens then are destroyed by the body. Okay? Your first line of white blood cells, after a pathogen enters the body, the white blood cell recognizes it. The white blood cell reproduces many times, producing as many white blood cells as it can, starts killing off those cells. Okay? Antibodies are cool. It'll recognize the pathogen right away. It should prevent you from getting that disease again. They're talking about this a lot in the news. If I got COVID once and beat COVID, can I get COVID a second time? Or does my body recognize it and automatically kill it before it gives me any symptoms? When I was a kid, guys, that was chickenpox. You got chickenpox once in your lifetime. And then once you got the immunity for it, you never got it again. Today, we're going to talk about in a second, you guys get vaccinated for that. So vaccines are back in the news because we're working really hard to get a vaccine for COVID. Let's learn what a vaccine is. Your body responds in the same way to vaccinations. A vaccine is made of dead or weakened pathogens, number 5 in your notes, that can no longer cause the disease. The vaccine then triggers your immune system to produce the white blood cells that continue to fight pathogens when they enter the body. In other words, we're going to give you the dead cells. The white cells recognize it. They produce the antibodies to fight off that pathogen. Then the next time when the real deal disease hits me, the antibodies say, we already know what this is. We already know how to fight this. We already know how to kill this. And my body's immune system automatically kicks in and should knock it out before it can have a negative effect on my body. That's the power of vaccines, and lots of times we give vaccinations to a ton of different people. And when you're young, as a baby, we start to vaccinate you for a lot of things with the different shots that you give to try to keep certain diseases out of the population that we've learned to beat. I wrote down this as a flu shot. A flu shot, people will get the flu shot, guys, and still get the flu. Or I had the flu last year, I might still get it this year. And you're saying, well, I thought my body was supposed to recognize it and get it. Well, the reason with that is there are so many different viruses that cause the flu that we can't give you a shot that has all the different viruses that cause the flu. So they just take their best guess at what the virus is going to be, and sometimes they're right and sometimes they're not, guys. So there are obviously things out there that can cause it. If you've been watching the coronavirus and the talk on it, they talk about this thing mutating. In other words, changing its form a little bit. And that might make coming up with a vaccine very, very difficult for them as it changes. Okay. The other thing is they're trying to rush and get a vaccine, guys, and that's sometimes scary because the faster we work with medicines, we don't know the long-term impact on them. So lots of times we want to study medicine for a couple years and say, okay, we gave it to all these people and nothing bad happened. Okay, it's a good medicine. Because sometimes there's some side effects. Like if you ever listen to those commercials, at the end of all the commercials, it may cause this. And you're like, man, that's a long list of those. Well, they know that by studying that for a while, guys. And so they want to make sure you're not at risk for some of those side effects that go along into that. But your body is an amazing system at fighting things off and then remembering it. Okay, sorry for that page. Definitely pressed the printer button wrong and messed it up. So here we got the real page. It just ends up with the last few things. Number one, Look at the people in this picture. What is going on in their bodies as they ride their bikes? Many systems are working hard to enable them to be successful at their task. Read the information on these pages to see how some of these systems are contributing. So on mountain biking, here's everything that's happening. The respiratory and circulatory systems begin to work harder with activity. Breathing rates increase. This provides more oxygen to your working muscles. It helps get rid of the carbon dioxide waste. The heart's pumping faster. This delivers more nutrients and oxygen to the muscles. Okay, so they said muscles twice, guys, but didn't give you your muscular system. We're going to get that in a second. The endocrine glands check your body's conditions. Their hormones make sure the muscles have enough energy and maintain stability. That's adrenaline going through. That's also your blood sugar levels working on. The digestive system has already begun to work before activity begins. Its role is to prepare the body for activity. Some nutrients are in the blood, ready to supply the energy. Some nutrients are stored in the tissues and are going to be activated as needed. Your nervous system is obviously your eyes, ears, nose, and skin gathering the information about the environment. This information is sent to the brain as impulses, which travel the brain through the spinal cord. The brain then interprets and tells the parts of the body what to do. So look out, you're about to hit a rock. Ooh, that's going to be cold and wet as you splash through the water. Hit the brakes. You're going too fast. All that stuff is processed by the nervous system. The muscles in your legs receive messages from the brain telling them to contract. As they contract, the muscles pull on the leg bones. This results in movement. To continue the activity, the contracting muscles relax. Muscles opposite them then contract. This moves the bones in the opposite direction. So we talked about our muscles always pulling on us, working in pairs, moving your bones. So all those systems are going through it, guys. So I just wrote this statement. You need all your systems working together to do your normal everyday activities. All the systems we talked about all are happening when I ride a bike. Okay, healthy habits. Kids, get into this stuff. Number one, eat well-balanced meals. Lots of times people say you are what you eat. I put junk into my body, I'm going to get junk out of it. We love the sugar foods. We love the Flamin' Hots. We love so many of those things. They taste good, but they're not good for us. So make sure it's well-balanced. Get regular physical activity. That's become harder in 2020, obviously, as we're not supposed to be out and about and everything else. But guys, find ways to stay active in all kinds of things. It's not healthy to just sit on the couch all day. Sleep at least 8 hours every night. Kids are so foolish. They go through their teenage years bragging about how late they stayed up. As you get older, you're just like, I love sleep. I love everything about sleep. I wish I could get more sleep. Love sleep. Avoid using harmful substances like alcohol, drugs, and tobacco. Can't emphasize that enough, the harm that brings to your body and the addiction that those things cause that can bring a lifetime of hurt to your body and your loved ones. Keep your body clean. Amen. Okay, so that's in general hygiene, but as we've been learning in 2020, wash your hands like crazy. Wear protective gear when participating in sports that require it. This was big in football when we started to understand everything with concussions and things like that. Wear a safety belt when riding an automobile. Another habit to make sure you get into and learn to appreciate that. You only have to try to experience one car crash to realize how important that is. And then the last one here, guys, drink plenty of water. Understand that water helps transport all the systems. Your blood, you learned, was made up mostly of water. It's super important to help flush your digestive system. All that stuff is good. I said be amazed at how God created you. The amazing machine. Your body isn't working hard only when you are very active. Here's what happens every single day. Every single day you're going to use 7 million brain cells. Your heart's going to beat about 100,000 times. Your hair's going to grow 0.5 millimeter. And every red blood cell, which is the most common blood type in your body, is going to pass through your heart 14,000 times. Your blood is amazing, guys, when you do those things. I was taught if you take all your veins, arteries, and capillaries and stretch them end to end, it reaches to the moon and back. And your blood's going to fire through all those courses of miles 14,000 times every single day. So it's just amazing what's happening with your body. Do everything you can to use it to God's glory, but also to protect it. All right, that brings us to lesson 5. You got the worksheet that goes along with it, and that's the end of the chapter. We'll take the test on this tomorrow. Blessings.